Okay, a few things about today. Today's the last day to let me know if you want to go to the international convention on the 1st. Now, I say last day, but it's probably right here. If somebody wants to go after this, today's the last day for the early bird price. If you want to go, I'll just make you pay the difference between the early bird price and the later price, which it does go up as we go along. So do keep that in mind. But we do have several folks that wanted to go to regional. Jesse, Neely, maybe Paige, and Cameron Bogan. So I'm going to register 4 students. If we need to change some up, we can do that. But that works well because that's 1 hotel room for students, 1 for me, and we don't have to spend the extra money on that. Now it's March 6th and 7th. So there are usually events scheduled the evening of Friday, meet and greet, kind of team building, networking type of activities. It's just basically to get to know other kids in the region, which I think most of my students who've gone to regional have had some benefit from it, if nothing else, just somebody they knew when they transferred or had met before. So Tuscaloosa is about, 4 hours? Mm-hmm. So probably leave here around noon, maybe a little earlier, depending on the event schedule. I will post the tentative agenda on the PTK Canvas page. Then we'll return on the 7th. We usually have a luncheon and then an awards, state awards ceremony. It's usually over by about 3 o'clock. So expect to be back by about 7 o'clock on the 7th. For international, since it looks like we're going to have probably 2 or maybe 3, we'll plan now for taking the bus to Dallas. Again, networking and getting to know the other people from the region is helpful because it's not just going to be the Bay Minette folks. There's going to be some other colleges with relatively small contingents that are taking the bus. But because I want you guys to be able to experience the whole farewell dance and all that sort of stuff, and not have to drive through the night on the way back, we'll go ahead and fly back because the convention center is right by the airport. So I will set all that up. However, if you're going to international, I guess for airfare, I need to make sure I know who's going because you can't change the name on a ticket usually.
What's the estimate for airfare? For I know it varies.
One way it's not much. It's like 160.
Okay. You get it on the right day, it could be less.
Yeah. So, but I'll book the convention thing first, since we're still more than a month out. The fares aren't going to go up significantly. What else? Okay, so those are the conventions. We had 2 recruiting events this week. Monday went okay. Wednesday did not, but that's okay. Hey, you know what? I love, one of the reasons I love Mythbusters is because they say that failure is an option, because you can take what you learn from the failure and apply it to the next experiment.
Failure. We just need to check the weather and maybe pick like 1 week where we can, like, even if you're not there, like where we can do it every day of that week, like Monday through Thursday, and do it in a different place every day. So like the student center, and if it's gonna be a nice day, do it out in front of the Wallace building maybe. Doing it on the sidewalk or something, I don't know.
Well, let's start with doing one in the rotunda of the Wallace building and see how it goes. why don't we plan for next Wednesday? The 11 to 1 slot, because that's when you seem to get like the trio traffic and stuff like that. I'll keep this stuff. It's not like Little Debbie's going about.
I might have to leave early for that one because at 12:15 I have an ambassador class.
Yep, that's
What
fine.
about, can we do Tuesday too? But like on Tuesday, do it from 11 to 1 and do it in the student center, like, and they'll have the food time too, but like, we'll be
Do
in
it.
there.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Set up during the.
I know it's kind of a distraction, but if we're there before and after for a while.
I think that's okay. I think because that's when students are. Yeah. Why don't we just plan on doing that? I'm doing it Tuesday.
I was
See how
gonna
it
say we
goes.
can do both days
Mhm.
if needed.
Okay, so that's the 11th. So we'll plan on. I'm getting a few people trickling in, but I certainly haven't had as many as I'd like.
Okay.
It's all right.
In the water.
But we'll keep plugging away, and for freshmen, as long as we get them before induction, we can hopefully start to get them involved over the summer, chip away at getting this involvement. But it does sound like the ambassadors. It's not just because I really rely on the ambassadors. I think for stuff like PTK to be
Yeah.
kind of the doers,
Yeah.
know.
And I'm pretty pissed.
Well, it sounds like it's been a struggle this term for it's probably a variety of reasons. It usually is. But I think if we keep firm and stay at it, eventually we'll either learn enough that we know what to need to do in the fall, or we'll start getting people putting in their dues and getting involved. So either way, we've got a plan in place to take action, and that's better than not doing something. All right, so an induction date. I am looking at, most people wanted to do it, I remember we asked the last meeting, most people wanted to do it in the evening, right? So people could come.
Yeah, I would assume a lot of people's parents work during the day. I know a few people's parents are teachers.
Yeah.
And they're usually off by 4:30.
We should probably plan on an evening, like a 5:30, with light refreshments afterwards. I'm looking at Thursday, April 23rd. I'd have to double check to make sure that there's no awards day, that awards day isn't that day.
Oh yeah.
Those are usually during the day though, aren't they?
Yeah, there's like
Depends.
1, 2 o'clock.
Yeah, they have more ones in the evening. So why don't we plan tentatively for Thursday, the 23rd. And by tentative, I mean I need to check awards day, Dr. Moore's calendar, the school's calendar, just to make sure that we're not conflicting with anything. So let me write that down. April's always super busy.
Oh yeah, and finals.
Well, at least in the spring, finals are split between the weekend, so they don't get over with as fast, but you get an extra weekend to study. So. All right. I actually found the form when I was looking for those little cards in my files. For for the cake decorating contest that we used to do. Used to do it in the fall, but I think maybe the Tuesday before Easter, which would be right after International, so it'd be tough. But I could have you lean on people to get applications and get that organized.
I mean, who's even going to internationals? Is it just me?
It's probably you and Cameron. We're going to sign up too. And if she can't go, we'll find somebody else to go. So, preferably female, so we don't have to pay for another room. But, if Todd wants to go or get somebody else for our activities, or we can, raise it to donate to charity.
We could split it.
True.
Mm-hmm.
But we used to get the community involved. We'd actually, post flyers in Bruton and ask, like go to the donut shops and stuff and post it there. Stuff like that. The list goes.
We could do cake decorating and then have pre-made stuff that already looks pretty, and sell it for people who want to come and buy it.
Mm-hmm.
And we could do Easter themed stuff if it's gonna be right for Easter, like carrot cake or. I make a mean homemade carrot cake.
I do like carrot cake. It's one of my favorites. Let's see, when's Palm Sunday?
Hey Siri.
It's
When is
April
Palm
5th.
Sunday?
Yeah, it is the day we would be coming back from.
Palm Sunday is on Sunday, April 5th, 2020.
Unless you're Eastern Orthodox, and then it's the 12th. So, anyway.
I have no idea. I just ask Siri. She knows.
But you guys seem to be excited about it, and let me float the idea past Ms. Alba and Ms. Jacobs and Dr. Moore, and see if we can get some groundswell for this. I understand it's toward the end of the semester, and that, people's minds might be elsewhere, but by the same token, there's.
It's really good to get out of your own head and get involved in other things.
I agree.
It helps bring you back to earth, in all honesty.
And it might be a good thing too, because that's about 2 weeks after spring break, and maybe
People are
just
stressed.
and trying to get people back in the school mode, because more so than Thanksgiving break. I think this Thanksgiving break is so family oriented. Spring break, a lot of times it's hard to get people's brains back. Softball and baseball are always grumpy because they only get 3 days off. So.
That sucks.
Well, they're in season, so.
Left their brain at Disney World.
I can't believe people actually do things like that.
All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and stop the video. And